Okay, and we are live, I believe. Hello, everybody out there in TV land. I gotta crack open my sparkling water as per usual. How you guys doing? Hey, Liz, see you in the chat. Everyone is watching. Feel free to sound in, participate in the chat. You are watching Art Autopsy. This is a bi-weekly live stream hosted by me, Clint Carney. I am a professional working artist, do a lot of work in the film and television industry, and I show at galleries all over the place. And every 2 weeks, I get on the old internet and I create a new painting for you fine folks to enjoy. And today is no different. We're going to start a brand new painting today. And I encourage everyone watching at home to just get out your art supplies and make some art alongside me. It doesn't have to be what I'm doing. In fact, it probably shouldn't be what I'm doing. Just make whatever you want and just use this as an excuse to at least make some art every 2 weeks. I do this every other Thursday at 7 p.m. So here we are. Let's see who's in the chat. We got Liz, we got Jennifer Goupil, we got the Undead of Night. Hey guys, thank y'all for watching. First, I gotta start out by saying thank you so much to all of the people who support me over on Patreon. So thank you, Jennifer, Tango14, Travis, Anthony, Rachel, Derek, Sea of Dead Faces, Violet, Jill, Charlie, Misty, Donna, and Necrotechnicon. You guys are amazing. If you want to find out more about my Patreon, head over to clintcarney.com and all the links are over there. And before we get too far into it too, I just want to tell you about a few upcoming events that I have, in-person events in case any of you want to come out and say hello. So first off, let's see, on October 4th, I have a painting that's going to be in the Santa Clarita Artist Association Gallery. It's a little gallery here in Santa Clarita where I live. And it's my first time showing in the gallery, so it should be a lot of fun. So October 4th is the opening reception from 5 to 8 p.m. and I will be there the whole time. But I'm also going to be hosting the gallery for 3 other dates too during the whole run of that show. I'll post those dates when I have them. You can always find these dates over at clintcarney.com as well if you want. Next show after that is on October 12th, and that is the Fish in the Percolator, an ode to David Lynch show, and that is at the Last Bookstore in Los Angeles, California. And just a bunch of cool artists all doing tribute pieces to the late, great David Lynch. Very honored to be a part of that show. And then next show I have coming up after that is at the Sturt Haga Gallery located inside Descanso Gardens. I see now I have a typo on my website here. I spelled Descanso Gardens wrong. I got to fix that. Anyway, that is October 1st, and I have a brand new painting in there, and that's going to run there through till January 4th. So if you don't get a chance to out the opening reception, anytime you're at Descanso Gardens, swing by the gallery inside the gardens and you'll see my piece. And yes, okay, let's see, we had some more people join the chat. Bill, hey man, and Julie B, hello. So one other thing that I do, if you guys are making art at home while you watch this, please feel free to send me an image of what you create and I will feature it on an upcoming live stream. So this last time I only got one user submission, so we're going to get into it, and this comes from Jennifer Goupil, who is always a rock star with submitting user art, and this is her new piece. I believe this is acrylic on canvas. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jennifer. I know you told me in the email, but I don't have that open, and this is just a fantastic, lovely piece by Jennifer. So Jennifer is in the chat, so everybody tell her how awesome she is. But yeah, if you want your art featured here, obviously goes out to the live stream audience, but it's also, the live streams stay up on my YouTube page indefinitely, so people do discover them later on. If you want another place to showcase your artwork, just send it over to me and I'll showcase it in an upcoming stream. My email address is clintcarneycreates@gmail.com, and that's how you can send me your art. Okay. Without further ado, let me show you how the painting that I started in the last live stream turned out. Here it is. There we go. So I'm calling this one Still Inside Me. And yeah, pretty happy with how it turned out. It's pretty gnarly. It's kind of like a classic painting style of mine where I do these kind of messed up self-portraits. I hadn't done one in a few months at least. So I did one on the live stream last time and just, yeah, finished it up over the last couple weeks. Pretty happy with how it turned out. Love to know what you guys think. And then the chimpanzee painting that I started 2 art autopsies ago, I showed you how that was coming along, but I finally wrapped up that one as well. If you follow me on Instagram, you've already seen this, but if you don't, then it's brand new to you. So this one is called Trophy. And again, yeah, pretty happy with how that turned out. There's a glare I'm trying to get rid of here. I'll just hold it at an angle. But yeah, there we go. Trophy. So there are 2 brand new ones all ready to go. And then today we will be painting a big blank gray thing. Isn't it lovely? This is going to be another session of I don't know what the hell I'm painting just yet. Let me catch up on the comments real quick. Let's see. Okay, Jennifer says it's a solitary blue acrylic on canvas board. It's quite small, only 8 by 10. Well, fantastic work again, Jennifer. Liz didn't have a chance to finish up. Still working on a page of skulls. No worries, Liz. You are also an MVP for user-submitted art, so anytime you have one ready, just send it over. Okay, well, thank you guys so much. Oh, Jennifer says, I love the blue of the background and the eye. Thank you. Thank you. That was a lot of fun to paint. Julie B says that is trippy. Liz says, wow, love the vibrant green. Thank you all so much. I need to grab some pliers here. So, yeah, I don't have anything planned for today. I tried to think of something first, and honestly, I am just so swamped. I am in the middle of pre-production on a music video that I'm directing for the band Alice, and tomorrow is our final day of shooting. So we already have shot some stuff, but tomorrow's the last day of shooting. It's the big day on the sound stage, and I have just been working in 3D programs, modeling set pieces and props and all kinds of crazy stuff nonstop. And yeah, so my brain was kind of floating there, and I didn't really come up with a good idea, but I thought we might do another one of these where I just kind of make it up off the top of my head, and we'll see where things go. If anyone is making art at home now, let us know in the chat what you're making. And yeah, without further ado, I'm just going to sketch things out. I got some black oil. It's an alkyd oil paint, which is a little faster drying than regular oil paint. And I'm thinning it out quite a bit with odorless turpenoid, just so it can be pretty thin and I can sketch, and the sketch can dry pretty quickly. So, you know, I'm just going to throw down some random lines and see what comes out, you know. What is that? I have no idea, but it's something. And now we'll just see what emerges from the ether. Maybe nothing good, maybe something very good. You never can tell. We're discovering it together. This is one of those times where I'm just letting the painting tell me what it wants to become, and I'm just listening to that. And we'll see what it says. I see a face is emerging here. This feels like a nose, so we'll give it a little shadow. That's our lower lip. Yeah, okay. It's turned into a face pretty quickly. But the face of what or who, we do not know. I am still in work in progress on that painting I'm doing for that David Lynch tribute show, I almost considered doing that as the live stream, but we kind of have a tradition on this live stream of starting from scratch, because the beginning part of a painting where it goes from nothing to something, in my opinion, is always the most interesting thing to watch, rather than watching me noodle away on details for an hour or so. So, that's why I made that decision. But, okay, so clearly we have a face here. Let's see where we want to take it. So yeah, let me know what you guys are working on in the comments. Or if you're not working on anything, tell me what the heck you're doing. Are you just sitting there watching me paint when you too could be making art? Come on, get your act together. Just kidding. It's totally fine to just sit here and veg out and watch me make some random stuff. And in spite of my best efforts, I already have a cat hair embedded in this painting. All right, I think I got it. That is the hazard of living with long hair cats, is that they always want to show up in your paintings. So maybe, let's see, we're approaching ye old Halloween season. Maybe we'll turn this guy into some kind of a monster, right? I mean, that was pretty much inevitable. And you knew when you tuned in there was going to be some kind of a monster. I mean, we could just do a devil and give him horns, and that's easy. But do I want to do that? I don't know. I'm going to do something weird, and I don't know what the heck it is exactly, but I have an idea. He's going to have these kind of snake things growing out the side of his cheek here. Like kind of burrowing out of him and wrapping around. And then they will be coming out of, so this will be, let's say this one's going in here and coming out of this eye, and maybe we'll make them different colors or something to differentiate between the two snakes. We'll see. Okay, I mean, look, already he's a little off-centered. He is not centered well in the frame, and you could argue that it's not too late. I could just reframe it, but I'm letting the doodle tell me where the painting wants to go, and who am I to argue that the framing is incorrect on this doodle? So simply, this snake is going to be going in here, coming out of this eye, and doing something over here on that side to kind of balance things out with my otherwise thoughtless lack of composition. Okay, that's a start. That's a start. That's an idea. Can you guys tell what's going on with my scribbliness there, or is it all just a mystery? Let's see what you guys got going. Let's see. The Undead of Night says, that looks great already. Thank you so much. It's a little amorphous right now, but it'll shape up. Liz says she's drawing from skull sculptures as a reference again. Fantastic. And Bill is sculpting a spooky bat. Interested in seeing how your painting comes out. All right, awesome. Bill, you got to share some of your art with the live stream audience. I've known Bill for many a year, and he does some really rad stuff. So hopefully one of these days he'll share it with y'all so you can see. Oh, and I know, well, I don't know if anyone who said this is watching, but some people out there in the internet land were saying that they had wished they caught the last hyena horror market, and it looks like they're going to be doing another one coming up. So more details on that when I can announce it. But if you haven't caught one of those yet, it's a ton of fun. There's always lots of cool artists and vendors and stuff there. So that will be coming up later in the year. More details when I have them, or can talk about them rather. Okay, you guys ever see the movie Nightbreed? There's like one of the monsters in Nightbreed has these kind of snakes that come out of, I guess, his ribs and kind of wrap around him. Maybe that was the ultimately the what put that seed in my brain here. Now that I'm looking at this, it kind of reminds me a little bit of that guy. And I also got white alkyd paint. So these alkyds, again, these are the fast drying oils. So when I'm doing the underpaintings for the live streams, it's either acrylic or the alkyds. But yeah, these dry pretty fast if you paint thin with them, at least for the underpainting. So I think I can get a good amount done with this. And still have it be dry enough to move on at the end. Although last time, I think most of you in the chat at least were here for, yeah, Peliquin, yes, Undead of Night named the character from Nightbreed accurately. Correct. Good call. What the heck was I saying? Oh yeah, so I think most of you that are in the chat, at least so far, were here for the last live stream, and maybe some of you who are not in the chat were also here for it, where I also did the underpainting in these alkyds. And then this was for the chimpanzee painting, and I actually ended up, oh, I'm sorry, not the chimpanzee painting, but the other Morphe face painting. And I ended up just taking that underpainting further than I normally do on the underpainting process, but it actually worked out pretty nice doing it that way, because I'll tell you, it certainly sped up the process of finishing that painting. And right now, when my time is at a premium and I don't have a lot of it to spare, I'll take any little tricks like that can help me stay painting, but get everything else done at the same time. And of course, if anyone has any questions for me or for any of the other artists who are watching, I'm just volunteering you for this right now, by the way. But for me, if you have a question, just let me know in the chat, and I keep checking back on the chat periodically. Happy to answer any questions that you might have. Okay, yeah, I mean, this is turning into something. So for the music video that I'm directing, we're shooting all of the live action stuff is getting shot on what's called a cyc wall, or a cyclorama wall, which is just like a big kind of floor to ceiling curved white wall. It's similar to shooting on a green screen cyclorama wall, but instead of removing the green color, you just remove the brightest colors in the shot, which in this case will be that bright white. And I've worked that way before on a couple previous videos, and in general, I just am kind of finding that I like that better than filming on green screen, because no matter what you're filming on, if you're filming on over a screen, it is kind of a pain to do the cleanup to replace it. But at least with the white wall, you don't have to worry about the green color bouncing off your actors and ruining a shot and stuff like that. But anyway, I digress. The point was, all of the sets for this are being made digitally on the old computer, and it's a big sci-fi kind of story. So I'm getting to do some spaceships and some aliens and all kinds of crazy stuff. So most of it is happening in Blender on the 3D side, and yeah, if you're into that kind of stuff at all, doing 3D art or anything like that, and you haven't tried Blender yet, I highly recommend it. And the cool thing about it is it's a free program, so anyone can pick it up and learn, and it won't break the bank. But I'm having a lot of fun doing it. You can sculpt in it, you can do hard surface modeling and all of that. This episode is just a big commercial for Blender, by the way. Now, that's like all I've been doing for the last several weeks has been working in Blender, so can't help but talk about it. Let's see. Oh, Bill says he forgot to send a pic, but will do for the next show. Excellent. Jennifer says, I've seen some of Clint's digital work for the video, and it's going to be amazing. Thank you, Jennifer. Yeah, if you are interested in seeing some preview action, there's some content that I posted for my patrons, so feel free to go be a patron. The video, if all goes well and I can stay on track, the video should be out and available for all to see by the end of the month. So that's my goal, at least. I'm going to put a quick horizon line in here, and I'm just going to kind of eyeball like a third of the way down. That's my horizon line, just because I might want to add something to the background. Just keeping that in mind as I go forward. No real reason why I had to add that in at this point in time in the painting, other than it just occurred to me that I wanted to. So, just walking you through my thoughts here as I'm working on this painting, but so we got a couple options here, right? Okay, if you figure this snake wormy thing comes out here, and this one goes around, goes in that, comes out here, it could theoretically be two different heads of creatures, right? Or this could be the tail that goes around here, behind the back, through there, out there, and it only has one head. So two heads or one. And they could still be connected and still have two heads. I mean, we're in the realm of fantasy here, so it doesn't quite matter. I can tell already too that this is a little skewed, so I'm going to flip it real quick. This is a good example and something really good to do early on if you catch it. So I don't know if you can tell, like I can, but this is quite skewed. Now, it's not straight on, obviously, which is a product of me building it off of a doodle, but once I recognized that it was a little lopsided, I want to correct that now before it gets too late into it. And sometimes flipping a painting upside down is a great way to see those errors, and try to right the ship and steer it back to not being lopsided. I think when you're right-handed, you tend to skew things up and to the right. When you're left-handed, up and to the left. I can always tell what hand an artist favors by looking at their work. It's just the way it goes. But yeah, all right. Just some little minor tweaks here, but it just helped me to see it being upside down. And I'm actually going to squeeze out some olive green onto my canvas as well. And this I'm gonna just mix in olive green with some titanium white, and not match the color of this background gray, but just get approximate to it tonally. Yeah, what I mean, if it's got the same value, I guess is the word I'm looking for there. If I can match the value of it, then I can use it as kind of an eraser. to correct my drawings, and of course use it again for my middle tones. Okay, so like just erase the bad parts. It's all bad parts at this stage, but you know, eventually things will work out. Okay, I think that's enough fussing with it. Let's flip it back over. Okay, well that's a little more straight, but now the top of his head is too narrow, which is another problem that can happen when you're trying to paint upside down. That's all right. Let's bring it back out, but bring it back out evenly on both sides. And you may have noticed too that I have yet to really commit to a light source on this painting yet. Kind of all over the place with my shadows, but I'm not sweating it right now because I'm still in the drawing stage, still figuring out what the heck it is. Also, you know, sometimes when a character is just standing there with their mouth closed, minimal interest to me, right? So let's fix that. Let's give him a big gaping mouth here, which means we got to change the angle of his jaw and so forth. That's okay. I want to be able to paint some teeth, you know, or something, or show some kind of emotion on the face. So the blank stare there was not that interesting. I mean, truth be told, doing a portrait straight on like this is generally not that interesting either. But again, it is my job to try to remedy that and make it a little more interesting if I can. I'm thinking maybe like a hand coming up here, pulling on the jaw. That might be neat. Let's rough that in, see if we like it. Let's see, Undead of Night is working on a drawing of Sunny from Amityville 2, but taking a break because I'm starting to lose the likeness. Ah, right on. Cool. Cool for working on it. Not cool for losing the likeness, but that's all right. That happens to all of us from time to time, so it's always good to know when you need a little break from something. Okay, so let's see. That'll be the middle finger, the ring finger, and yeah, I like that. So I think we'll see. So there's a hand coming down here, pulling the jaw open. And what else? Maybe I'm going to continue around underneath with these snaky things, just because, yeah, it needs to be a little more interesting than it is. So if this one goes behind his back, then it's going to come back over this way. It's going to go under the hand here, maybe back over that shoulder. This one coming around here is going to go back this way, like that, and maybe just snake down like that. Yeah. I'm just adding these little worm ring direction things here just so I can keep track of the direction of it. Those will probably get erased if it's not an earthworm. Okay, let's start refining things a bit, shall we? Just a bit though. Still keeping the shapes big. You know, we're going to do a top sourcey type light on him. which means these snakes are going to be casting some shadows. And he's going to have some teeth showing in there, which I'm just going to do a little line to represent that for right now. And maybe something will end up coming out of his mouth. Maybe or maybe not. We'll see. When I'm doing these kind of paintings where I'm just have no preconceived notion of what the hell I'm painting. Oh, hello, Michael Garcia, for joining. Thanks, buddy. When I'm doing these kind of paintings, these are always the ones that take longer to finish, right? Because a lot of times I'm still figuring it out deep into the process, where it's when I have an idea early on, it tends to go a little faster, at least marginally so. Under Night asks if I have a copy of Squirm in my VHS pile. The answer is yes. I'm just looking around to see if it's in grabbable range. I do, but it's lost in the stack. Although I should say I own it because a friend gave it to me, but I haven't watched it yet. So it's certainly on the need to watch list. Okay, I'm just gonna pick an area, which in this case is his cheek here, and start adding in a little bit of detail. This one's going to be a little tough because obviously this isn't real human anatomy right there. There on a person, there's a bone right there that a snake or worm or whatever would not be burrowing through, but we are fudging the rules of the road here and just firmly into the realm of fantasy. Although, you know, even when you're doing a fantastical piece that is not rooted in reality, if you can give some semblance of realism to it here and there, it does help sell the piece. But anatomically speaking, this guy is going to be in rough shape, right? Because if he doesn't have a cheekbone, that probably means his skin's going to be a little saggy. So we're going to keep that in mind as well. Give him some gnarly wrinkles around it. I don't know, man. I'm just making this up as I go along. Okay. Let's see, again, I'm painting real thin, just with thin it out with this odorless terpenoid, and that's why I'm getting the drips. But I don't sweat those because everything I'm doing now is going to be covered up in the end. And sometimes the occasional drip going through a painting can be a happy accident. In the Bob Ross vernacular there. Undead Knight says, love the hand ripping open the mouth. Only a couple weeks and we get to see your work on Ed Gein. Oh yeah, thanks man. Yeah, I don't know what episode or episodes my stuff will be in yet, but looking forward to seeing the show. I saw the trailer. They've released a couple trailers now, and it looks like they're taking some artistic license with the real story there. But you know, every piece of cinema that has come out loosely inspired by him has taken plenty of artistic license, so I guess why should this one be any different? Liz says she made Halloween cookies tonight, the Pillsbury Ghost ones. Oh, excellent. Excellent. Let's see, Michael says, hey, it looks good on drip like t-shirt clothing. Ah, yeah. Okay. Yeah, this is a mess. This is a mess so far, but you know, keep working until it's not a mess, or maybe this will continue to evolve as we go and it'll turn into something completely different than what you see right now. We just don't know. Yeah, one thing that helps about doing this kind of monochromatic underpainting is that you can see right now, see how these worms are kind of, this is all kind of getting lost right here. That's a kind of error you should really fix in your contrast, you know, before, rather than simply relying on color. If I were started off in color right away, I might make this green and this would be red or whatever, but tonally they might be the same and it might just feel flat. But working on the light, working out the light and the shadow first in the underpainting, hopefully, you know, will allow me to keep some dimensionality to the piece before I move into color, you know. And for those of you who are just joining, you're watching Art Autopsy. It's a bi-weekly live streaming art event hosted by me, Clint Carney, professional artist and in the film and television industry and the gallery world and all that jazz. And every 2 weeks at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we get together and we make some art. And I encourage everyone watching at home to make some art right alongside me. If you do make some art that you want to showcase, email it to me at clintcarneycreates@gmail.com and I will share it with everyone in an upcoming live stream. And there you go. I'm getting faster and faster at that spiel and trying to be good about remembering to do so, because you know the reality of it is not everyone watches the whole stream. People pop in and out throughout it. So, and if you are new to the live stream, I encourage you to participate in the chat as well. There's a lot of cool artists who hang out in the chat. Always a good way to network and meet other like-minded artists. So say hi. Join in the chat. This is a big mess still. But somewhere in this chaos will form a painting. It has been a stressful kind of week for me, just with all the prep for this shoot tomorrow and everything. So I'm having a good time just hanging out with you fine folk and making some art. Gives me a break from all the visual effects work at the moment. I'm going to take a step back from it and reassess from a little bit of a distance. Yeah, okay. It's weird. Not sure if I like it yet, but we'll see. Let's see. Michael Garcia says he got his animatronic chainsaw sister from Resident Evil. Is that Resident Evil 4? Is that RE4? Almost done, but I ran out of material. Just small up in the road. Oh, cool. Well, it's excellent to be working on animatronics. That's rad. I can't wait to see it when you're all finished with it. I'm just flipping this upside down for now. I'm going to do something different with it from this angle. I'm just, oops, I'm messing up my framing here. Let's see. That's still in frame, I guess. I'm just not digging it that much from that angle, but I'm hoping I can see something a little more interesting from this angle, and it will just turn into something else all together. Yeah, let's make a bold move here. I'm going to get some Turpenoid on my rag and just go here and just erase all of that. Goodbye forever. We knew you win. Okay. I need to, speaking of animatronics, Michael, I need to be working on some animatronics. It's almost October, and I haven't set out a darn thing for Halloween yet. Outside, of course, the inside of my house is always decorated for Halloween. Let's see. I'm just making shapes here. I don't know what's happening yet, but that's okay. That's the fun of the live stream, right? You get to see the whole process and watch me mess up and discover new fun things. Yeah, I'm just gonna slice the old top of his head off right here, just for fun. Maybe we'll let him keep an ear. Maybe we won't. I don't know. Let's turn it into something else now, and I'm perfectly fine with that because that I was just getting kind of bored by that composition. Yeah, I don't know, man. You're just along for the ride on this one. It may turn into something cool. It may not. There we go. Why don't we snake this around into there? See what's happening now? A little skull is born here. And now the snake is going into the eye socket of this skull. See how things can turn on a dime here during art autopsy. You know, when I first started doing the live streams, or not even the live streams, when art autopsy used to be an in-person event over at Hyena Gallery, and that was kind of just going into that, I kind of dove in, you know, head first, being like the first time that I ever painted live in front of people. I mean, probably I've had friends or family over while I was painting and they saw me work or whatever, but I never, like, you know, with an audience watching. And at first it's a little nerve-wracking because, you know, especially when you're me and you are pretty loose with your plans about what a painting's going to be, but eventually you just, you know, learn to go with the flow. And sometimes when you're working on a painting and you don't know where it's going and it takes a wild turn, it just makes it that much more entertaining to watch. Or so I tell myself. I don't know. Are you guys entertained? Or is it just Or is it just slop? Okay, so there's a skull-ish thing down here. This is rapidly turning into some random bullshit, but you know, we're going with the flow. You know me, my policy is always keep painting until you don't hate it. This painting got into the I hate it stage very quickly. And I'm trying to pull out of this tailspin since there's an audience watching, but you know, there's always the chance that it doesn't recover. But that's what makes the live thing so fun. Let's see, I'm missing some comments here. Let's see. Under next said, are you making the bottom of the painting the top now? Possibly. And you got your spooky tree outside. Excellent. Jennifer says she likes the suggestion the painting should stay in this direction. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, yeah, I mean, this is possibly going to be the bottom. I mean, that still could be the bottom. That could be the bottom. That could be the bottom. Everything is on the table. I have no idea. Maybe it'll also, you know, every once in a while, it's fun to do a painting where there is no top or bottom, and you just let the person who ends up putting it in their collection decide how the hell they want to hang it. Maybe this will be such a painting. Every once in a while, I'll find an old painting like that in the stack, you know, the massive stack of paintings that never were, and I'll lose track of what the hell I originally thought the bottom of the painting was going to be. Let's see. Sometimes you just got to stare at it for a bit and see what needs to happen. I don't know the answer to that, but I'm just going to make a decision. He's going to, not that, but this side of the face is now going to continue out over the skull, and we're just going to follow this weird curve here. We're just getting into the abstract with this one. And you know what, this is already feeling like this coming out over the side wants to be another hand. So let's give it what it wants. Yeah, that feels better. That feels better as a hand. Sometimes on paintings like this, as I get into them, I just get so focused on like the one specific thing I'm working at the time, I lose track of whether or not it makes sense with the rest of the painting, and a lot of times it doesn't, but I just roll with it. It'll either come together or it won't. Yeah, the last paint, I'm going to pull this up real quick. Reach over here, pardon my reach. This was the last painting I did for Art Autopsy, where it was done in a similar fashion, where there was no idea of what it was going to be, and I started with a random squiggle, and then it turned into that. So sometimes these kind of paintings can come together, and other times they absolutely fail. And you never know what it's going to be until you do it. Just going to Give us a little contrast here. Keep that horizon line for absolutely no good reason at this point, but just because for now. Maybe it'll come in handy later. At this point, I have lost all of our casual viewers. Those who tuned in and thought I was going to paint something they could actually recognize. Those people have dropped off. And we're left with the hardcore people that just are used to my weirdness. Okay. You know, I do like the idea of having the skull down here, but damn if I didn't mess up the anatomy now that I look at it. Let's fix this. As you can tell, I am in rare form today. Making mistakes left and right. So we're going to continue with that. I cannot draw to save my life this evening, but that's all right. Eventually, something will emerge. Oh God, I think I made this one even worse. Holy crap. I'm kind of at the point where I just want to set this thing on fire, but we're going to power through that urge. Okay, let's just get an outline in on the side here for this guy, and then I'm gonna approach this from a different angle again. We're just gonna let that skull marinate like that in its rough form for a moment. Let's come back here. Let's see what's going on this side. As I wiped it away, I just started seeing another figure over here in the lines of paint, and I don't know how it pertains to the rest of the painting, but I'm just going with what I saw in there and shaping him up, seeing if indeed we have something hidden in the rubble. This painting is going to be, it's going to travel a lot. This painting's going to go places, right? It's starts one way and it's going to end in a way very different from how it started and very different from what you see now. I think this will be one of those paintings that's real fun to watch time lapse of, because I still don't know what's happening. And I think that's okay though. That's okay though. Let's I'm gonna see if I can angle this a bit without messing up the shot for you guys too much. Let's see, does that mess things up? You can still see it. Okay, I was just getting a glare. I was just being too self-conscious about what I was doing and lost the flow state of it all. Now I'm just trying to recover that. Let's see, and I'm already liking this face coming in right here. He's feeling like he wants to be in the painting. We'll let him breathe in there for a second and see what that turns into. Kind of just peeking out from behind this behind the part of the skull there, the little zygomatic process that's going back, that's kind of turned into this guy's upper lip. That's interesting. Or is it? I don't know. Okay, how's everyone doing how's everyone doing at home? Michael Garcia is watching Enter the Dragon. I have not seen that in a while. That's a Bruce Lee classic. Okay, let's I want to just back up the old chair again and squint my eyes and see if anything else is popping out to me in there. Okay, well, I'm just going to start, the answer is no. Nothing else was popping out to me right there. So I'm just going to start refining some of these things that we've already established, and then we'll get a little better feel for if those things are going to stay in the piece, or if we're just going to burn it all down. One of these days I'll get a non-squeaky chair for these live streams, but I think the squeakiness of my chair has become its own character on the show here. Okay. I don't mind that mouth being there. You know, though, I'll tell you, just use my hand to block out parts here. Um, yeah, I don't love the nose, but you know what might be interesting? Well, let me show you. It might be interesting to give him a clown nose. You know what I mean? Like a big old clown nose. Or, before I do that and ruin this nose, that might also mess it up even further. Yeah, I'm just not feeling the nose. I'm okay with the teeth there at least, but you know, let's not do the clown nose yet, but let's make a big bold choice here and kill this nose at least, because that's just not working. And we just messed up some of our teeth in the process, but that's okay. They were just roughed in. Okay, because you know what is more interesting to me is another, let's go back here real quick. I'm getting paint all over myself, by the way. If we come in here with another mouth, this is the upper lip of the mouth. And then we come in with more teeth here. If you are just tuning into this live stream and you are wondering what in the living hell is this dude painting, I don't know either. You are tuning into Art Autopsy. This is a bi-weekly live art stream with me, your host, Clint Carney. I'm a professional artist in the film and television industry and in the gallery world and stuff. And every 2 weeks at 7 p.m. Pacific time on Thursdays, I create a new piece of art for your enjoyment or lack thereof. And it's always an adventure, and in this case, on this particular painting, I'm making it up off of the top of my head, as I so often do. And this one is a real adventure, because I don't know what the hell I'm doing with it yet. And every once in a while, I get a little glimpse of what I think it needs to be. And I'm just writing those little glimpses, hoping that it all comes together in the end. At least, let's say, by the end of this live stream, I hope it looks like something where you can say, oh, hey, that's going to be this, that, or the other thing. But it is also entirely possible that by the end of this live stream, it looks nothing like it will when I'm finished. But you know my motto, keep painting till you don't hate it. And yeah, I'm feeling good about that. So this is obviously the, well, not obviously, this is a tongue right here. And a little bit of a tooth showing up under that tongue. Let's give it a little wetness on the old tongue. And yeah, all right, I like that mouth, you know. Does it work in this painting? Maybe. Okay. And then maybe, since we got rid of this dude's nose, and now we have just these two mouths, I think I'm just going to give him a couple nostrils here, which could really go either way. These nostrils could go, you know, for whatever face this is, or for whatever face that is. They're multi-purpose nostrils, if you will. Let's see. Sorry, just reading the chat here. Can't wait to see the bat that you're making. That's going to be awesome. Thank you guys for the words of encouragement. You guys rule. And thank you for encouraging each other too. That's very, very cool. It's nice to have a cool artsy community of good folks like you guys. You know, the other thing, and this is fine, I'm not knocking it, this painting's obviously gone off the rails anyway, but I just realized too, every time I flip the painting, I'm flipping the light source as well, so there will be no cohesive light source in this painting, which can be a bad thing, but you know, it's gonna be different. Okay, so let's look at this. So this worm thing we started out with is now just, we don't know what the hell it is right now, right? But let's make it, let's try not to make it too graphic here, but let's, I'm gonna make I'm gonna make this into maybe another mouth right here, which means we're gonna maybe put a nose in right here. You get a nose, and you get a nose. There we go. That's a nose if I ever saw one. And this, I'll have to make sure it looks like a snake and not like something else, because this is, you know, it's a family show. Okay, this is interesting. I guess one interesting thing too about varying the light source depending on what angle you look at the painting from too, that will also just lend itself to the ability to be hung in any direction. Maybe. You know what's also missing from this, aside from the snakes, which may or may not end up being snakes, there's no animals in this painting yet, and you know, that's a big no-no. We're gonna have to add some critters in at some point in time, right? So start thinking about what kind of an animal we want to sneak into the painting. I mean, of course, there's always squirrels. We can always add a squirrel. We have proven nothing else, if not that a squirrel will make every painting more squirrely. You know, I'm gonna, yeah, it's quite frankly, the snake idea here is not working. It's just coming across, well, you know what it's coming across like. We're just gonna ditch that snake, but I do like this mouth right here, so say goodbye to that snake. We might keep the other one, or we might not. We'll see. But for right now, this snake is going away. And let's just rough in some teeth down here. Okay, we can make that nose better. The paint is still pretty wet, so I am just kind of pushing around paint haphazardly right now, trying to fix it by just putting thicker paint on over the top of it. But yeah, anyway. Okay, that's better. Thanks, Michael. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Um, Julie says maybe we could turn it on its side and see if more images take shape. I think that's probably the direction I'm going to go with it. But I'm still working out this side. But yeah, it'll probably move to the side soon enough. I don't know. I'm feeling better about it now, though, to be honest. I think I still don't know where it's going, but I think just that initial idea was just not working, and I was trying to force it to work too much. And now that I'm just being more free with it, it's getting more interesting. I don't know that this is ever going to be a painting where people are going to look at it and say, oh, I know what that thing is. But that's okay. You don't have to know what it is. As long as it makes you feel a certain way, good or bad. Do do do. So I might as well bring this face out some more here. I kind of want to make this eye kind of like a weird bug eye kind of thing. And so that's what I'm gonna do. Just a big round eye. Yeah, I like that. I like that. I have been working on music for, a new System Sin album, kind of casually in the background for a long time now, and the songs keep popping into my head. So I think that's a good sign. I think it's a good sign I should just finish it. I just whistled part of one, so there you go. Spoiler alert. But no, honestly though, I think beginning of next year is when I'm going to try to get it out. Well, I certainly have enough songs. They're just not finished yet. And I'm sure I got plenty of people that follow me on social media that are probably wondering why the hell the guy from System Sin is only painting these days instead of writing music. For that segment of the old viewer base, I should probably release another album. See, Jennifer says you surely should just finish the album, then schedule a show to play all the new stuff live. Yes, yes. Let's see. Tom Shear's new single drops tomorrow. Yes, that's right. Looking forward to that. Oh man, my texts are blowing up here. One moment, please. Let me type back real quick. That's okay. Sorry, I never answer texts during the stream, but that was about the shoot tomorrow, and I don't want to leave people waiting for me to finish painting. Okay, I like this now, actually, right? This is starting to shape up. This, like this dude right here, right? That's the part I'm digging the most. The rest of this will come together, but this is the vibe. This is where this is going. This little section right here. Okay? Just took me a while to find it, but this guy is the creature for this painting. And Liz says, and go on tour after you finish the album. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, the likelihood of me going back on a full tour is slim. Only because I got too much stuff going on back here in LA, and touring is a young man's game. But I do like going out and playing shows, doing one-off shows from time to time, festivals and stuff like that. So inevitably I will be back out doing those before you know it. Okay, yeah, that's starting to turn into something. At least in my head. I know probably When I hold my hand up here, I'm just blocking out parts that are bullshit, just so I can kind of imagine what else they could be. Um, but yeah, at least in my head, I think I have some kind of a direction for it. Let's see. Just thinking about what I want to do next. I'm gonna go ahead. This whole snake idea thing in general was ill-conceived, and we're just getting rid of this other one too. That's enough snakes. I've painted enough snakes lately. All right, let's. We don't need another snake creature just yet. I mean, maybe a snake creature will find its way back into this painting at some point. But the hole that he left by erasing him right there does present an interesting shape, and sometimes an interesting shape is better than a poorly rendered snake. If you guys wouldn't mind, anyone who would like to help out, feel free to like the video and comment on it so that you can um, help get the exposure for the live show in the old algorithm, and hopefully dupe some other sucker into tuning in and watching this show and then going, what the hell am I watching? Okay, so look, we're like an hour and 20 minutes deep into this, and it's only just now starting to be interesting. So this painting is going to be a long journey to before it's really comes together. So we'll see how far we can get tonight. But yeah, I imagine I'm going to be noodling on this painting until for the next 2 weeks solid, till the next art autopsy comes up, because it keeps taking different forms. You know, this mouth right here, oddly, for some reason, just reminds me of Janet Leigh's mouth in the screen on the Psycho poster for some reason. Maybe it's just captured that somehow. It won't stay that way, but at the moment, it's giving me that vibe. All right, let's see if we can do something nice with this skull, or if this skull is also doomed. For starters, the nose, nasal bone there, is way too low. We're going to have to pick that up a bit. More so starts up here. And then cross like that. Then we gotta shorten that up, and then you have the septum there. Okay. The hazards of painting fast is that it's real easy to fudge the anatomy. But, as I always say, there is nothing that you can do in a painting to mess it up that you cannot fix later. That's one of the fun parts about it, right? I'm always impressed with those artists who can just draw something amazing immediately, right? Like first line choices that they make are the right choices, you know. That's certainly a real skill set, and which I think, you know, you can build by just practice or whatever. But I've always been more of a start rough and finesse it over and over again until it gets into that shape that you want it in. I've yet to, or every once in a while I'll stumble into it. I'll make a bold decision and it ends up being the actual shape that is in the final painting. But more often than not, I'm just finding my way through it as I go. Drawing from life can certainly make you better at that sort of thing. I used to do, participate in a live drawing event every month. But that kind of halted after the pandemic, and they didn't pick it back up, and I have not found a new one to attend yet. Although I'm sure there are plenty floating around the old Los Angeles area. This arch here is also too thick, so we got to bring that in. Okay. Yeah, that new SMH23 album should be pretty cool. Tom never disappoints. I heard, like, I think he released like a preview or a little sample of one of the songs fairly recently, and I heard that. It sounded pretty cool so far. I think it's on his YouTube, the old YouTubes. Okay, let's say we flip it back again and see what's happening on this side of things. Okay, yeah, I'm definitely liking it better from the other direction. So with this angle as the top, I think we're gonna commit to the other angle being the bottom. But that doesn't mean we can't still work on it from this angle. And I might flip-flop back and forth on that decision as we go. Oh, also, new upcoming music to keep on your radar. There's a new album coming out by Lost Signal, and it is excellent. So keep an eye out for that one. He's also got a new single coming out for the song This Is Not the End of Me, which I contributed a remix to, as did Tom from Assemblage 23. So keep an eye out for that one. zoned out for a second painting and forgot that people are watching and I wasn't saying shit. Sometimes it's a little tricky to, just paint and pay attention to what you're doing and come up with things to ramble about the whole time too. So. Oh, you know what? The missus and I recently did the video on demand thing for um, 28 Years Later, which is, of course, the third film in that franchise. So 28 Days Later, 28 Months Later, and 28 Years Later. I personally really enjoyed it. It was not, I like the original the best, but I like this new one better than 28 Months Later. So if you are curious about that film, my official opinion is worth watching. It's got some strange stuff in there. It's very Danny Boyle, the director, who also did, well, among many other things, Trainspotting is another one he's well known for. He made some pretty cool artistic choices with it, stylistic choices that are unexpected, which I like, because I have a feeling might not appeal to everyone. But yeah, check it out yourself, and if you like zombie movies. And I certainly do. Travis says, just mount it in a slowly rotating frame. Possibly. You never know. That might be the way to go. Let's see. Again, just holding up the hand to block stuff out. There's still a lot that has to happen to make this interesting. I don't know how much I'm going to get done tonight. We're already up on an hour and a half, and I've got a big night ahead of me after this. Still prepping for the shoot tomorrow, but you guys have gone on quite the journey with me on this painting. It has gone through some changes. And yeah, I don't even know what I'm doing right now. I'm just working in some shapes and seeing if anything. Let's just make some random squiggles and wipe it off and see what we get out of it. Now I'm thinking that there wants to be like almost the profile of like a bear here or something, some kind of animal. Maybe not a bear, but maybe a bear. I don't know. You know what I mean? Let me try to define this better, because I realize half of what I'm saying here is in my head. I got to try to make this so you can see what I'm talking about. So like if this were a bear, right? I gotta get more black paint on my canvas so I can draw this better. Ah, crap. Dropped the paint cap. All right. Okay, so this upper lip, teeth, lower lip, right? Bear nose, eye somewhere here behind this, whatever. Obviously, I'll have to look at some pictures of bears to better grasp the anatomy. But yeah, something like that. Or maybe it's not a bear there. Maybe it's some other kind of. It could even be like a warthog or something. We turn that into. I don't know. Kind of feeling that vibe. I'm gonna leave that there. We're not gonna look. This painting's gonna end in a pretty rough state still. I think because it's just not. It's just not the kind of painting that's coming together quickly. But hopefully it will. It'll be worth the journey when it's done. Yeah, let's flip it back over real quick. Just see. Yeah, you know what? I think I'm at the point where I gotta step away from this thing because I'm in danger of undoing my good work. But I think yeah, we're gonna call it a short night tonight. Because I think I just have too much on my mind to get this in too good a shape. So sorry about the short stream, but we're going to call it for tonight. But anyone who's been making art, please, when you get it to a point where you want to show it off, email it to me at clintcarneycreates@gmail.com. I will feature it in an upcoming stream. And keep checking in with me on the old social media, especially on Patreon if you want to see this kind of come together. As it goes, I'll be updating that over there. I also have free tiers on Patreon, so if you aren't in the position where you can swing subscribing to a lowly artist such as myself, sign up for the free tier because you still get notified when there's events such as this or live events and things like that. And and every once in a while I do a free post otherwise, so you can see some cool stuff. So anyway, if you go over to clintcarney.com, that's got all the links and all of that jazz. Oh, let's see. Liz typed in, just finished 3 skulls, almost done with the page. All right, excellent, excellent. Okay, great. Well, I'm going to call it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching this weird blob turn into this weird blob. This painting will be continued. Hope you guys have a great night, and I will talk